What is up, my little tubers? Welcome back to some more sealed action here on Arena. We got some more Lord of the Rings, Tales of Middle-earth. This is an early access event courtesy of Wizards, so this is on a separate account, separate server, which is why you can see I have so many gems. That is not the norm. As always, thanks for watching. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to check out cardkingdom.com for all of your Magic card needs. Maybe you want to order some loader stuff. I'm going to do sealed because I assume that's what people will be doing for their pre-release, and draft doesn't actually fire all that quickly on the early access events. Furthermore, sealed lets us read the cards because these are all new. I do not take a look at any of the spoilers or anything, so the events that I did on stream today were the very first look at the cards I have of the format. I do know what a few of these do, though. We opened, I'll hover over as well as I can, Lobelia Sackville Baggins. A ton of legendaries in this format, as one could expect from a Lord of the Rings themed event. This is a pretty nice one. 2/3 flash for 3 with Menace, and then you can make some excess treasures if you can get the ability off. I'm not going to read it word for word, but you can see it there and pause the video if you want. Display of Power. This is more a constructed level card. Would not play that in limited generally. Maybe if it's a sideboard game and your opponent has a lot of powerful things, but generally not going to want to be playing that. I don't know what this is. Sharky, Tyrant of the Shire. 2/4 for 4. Activate abilities of lands your opponent's control can't be activated unless they're mana. Mana of any type can be spent. Oh. So this is actually not that good. For limited anyways, this really doesn't do anything. So 4 mana 2/4 in limited. Fall of Kyr Andros. 3 mana whenever a creature an opponent controls dealt excess damage. Excess non-combat damage. You get to amass Orcs X, where X is that excess damage. Oh, but it shoots things for 8. So if you can go to a long game, this card's insane. This is probably really good in sealed. Okay, that's kind of nice. The Mines of Moria. Enters tapped unless you control legendary. Okay. Some nice utility, not amazing, but nice utility. And then Horn of the Mark. 2 mana, whenever 2 or more creatures you control attack a player, look at the top 5 of your library. You may reveal a creature from among them and put it in your hand. So that's okay. How often are you going to freely attack with 2 creatures, you know? It's not bad, but I wouldn't call it great by any means. So there are a lot of new mechanics in this format. I will try to find one. Here we go. The Ring Tempts You. This is a new thing. I had no idea what this was until I played it today. So as you can see, there are a bunch of different abilities for when the Ring Tempts You occurs. Let's read the first one. As the Ring tempts you, you get an emblem named the Ring if you don't have one. Then your emblem gains its next ability, and you choose a creature you control to become or remain your ring bearer. So the first time you get the Ring Tempts You, if you have a creature on the battlefield to target, it will be gaining the first ability of it turns into a legendary creature, and it cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power. And the thing is, these abilities are cumulative. They stack. If you go on and tempt the Ring again, then that creature is going to have the first ability and the second ability. It's actually pretty crazy. It's a lot better in draft, where you can really draft around this mechanic. And sealed, I mean, I'm sure you could build a couple of good decks with it if you open enough tempting cards, but it is a pretty fun mechanic so far from what I've seen. Anyways, let's take a look. A Hobbit Sting deals X damage to target creature where X is the number of creatures you control plus the number of foods. So there's a food sub-theme in this format, you'll note. Seems fine. This is pretty filler. 1/3 whenever it attacks, you can tap something. It's whatever. 2 mana 3/1 that you can kill an artifact or enchantment at sorcery speed. That's decent. This one's been solid for me. Again, I think somebody noted that there were like 85 legendaries out of 140 creatures in this format. So Errand Rider of Gondor is surprisingly good. And the worst case scenario, it's a 3/2 that loots in a sense. It's been pretty good. Put 1 counter on each creature you control. They gain vigilance. That Ring tempts you. That's okay. This is effectively a reprint. There have been a bunch of these type of cards in Magic before. 4 mana 3/3 that makes a 1/1 soldier. Let's see. This is the Stalwarts of Osgiliath. 5 mana 4/3 that tempts when it enters. And then whenever you draw your second card each turn, you get to put a 1/1 counter on it. I think there's a draw your second card mechanic in the format as well. There's one of these land cyclers in each color. All of them are great. The white one here is a 3/3 flyer that pumps up your creatures when it ETBs. Birthday Escape, draw card, ring tempts you. That's good. Counter target creature spell. If it was a legendary, the ring tempts you. That's good. Tap target creature, scry 1, draw a card. That's okay. I guess it cycles. Oh yes, there's a scry mechanic in this format. I think it's blue-green. Normally, whenever you so for this one, for example, whenever you scry, it gets +1/+0 and can't be blocked until end of turn. That's pretty good. Target creature has base power and toughness 5/5. The ring tempts you. That seems like an okay trick. It's not amazing, but okay. Put up to 1 target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard on top of your library, and then you get to amass 2. Seems fine. 4 mana, sorcery, draw 2 after scrying 2, and then it costs 1 less if you control 2 or more legendary creatures, so oftentimes it's going to cost 4 for that. 4 mana, you get to amass 3, and then somebody mills X cards, where X is the amassed army's power. Maybe there's a mill theme in this format. I don't think that card's any good, though. ETB scry 1, and you can return it from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped, only if you have a legendary creature. Seems medium. This is like a reprint type card. Lash of the Balrog. It's an additional cost, sack a creature, pay 4, and then you get to kill a creature. That's good. Shalab's Ambush. Target creature gets +1/+2 and gains Death Touch, and then you make a food. Seems okay. Easterling Vanguard. When Easterling Vanguard dies, amass Orcs 1. So again, there is amass synergy in the format. This is a great amass card, by the way. You draw a card, you lose 1 life, you get to amass 1. Remember, for amass, you only get a new creature if you don't already have an army card. So because the amass cards in this format make orc armies, if you amass 1 here with Mortar Muster on turn 2, and then you cast Mortar Muster again on turn 3, you're not going to get another 1/1. You're going to make a 2/2, right? The 1/1 that you had is going to get a +1/+1 counter, so a little bit less broken that way. Nasty End. Sack a creature. Draw 2. If the sacrifice creature was legendary, draw 3. Okay. Seems fine. 3 mana 1/1 flyer that you get to amass 2. That's good. There's that Lobelia card we saw. Sagas are back. Some really funny sagas in this format. You and target opponent each create a food token. Each opponent loses 3 life. You create a treasure. And then you get to make 3 tapped 1/1 flying. Oh, that's pretty good. I like that. It's a little bit slow, but at the end of the line, you get to make 3 1/1 flyers. Snarling Warg. 3/4 menace. As long as you control a goblin or an orc, it gets +1, so it's probably okay. Sirith Ungol Patrol. 4/5 for 5. Sack another creature, draw a card, make a food token. That's not bad. Let's see. Bad combat tricks. Yes, the classic bad red combat tricks. 2/2 for 2. Deals 1 damage to each creature blocking it whenever it gets blocked. That's not bad. Oops. Cast in the Fire deals 1 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures, or you get to exile an artifact. From what I've seen, there are a decent number of artifacts in the format, so that's probably not terrible. Another red combat trick that gives a creature +3/+2, and then if it's legendary, it also gains trample. Whatever. Club is good. You get to sack an artifact or a creature, and then it deals 4 to anything. Smite the Deathless is very good. 2 mana, 3 damage to a creature at instant speed. And then some extra text that's not irrelevant, but doesn't always come up. Book of Mazarbul. 3 mana, you get to amass 1, and then amass 2. And then creatures you can draw. Okay, that's not too bad. Fall. Okay, we saw that. Fiery Inscription. When it enters the battlefield, the ring tempts you. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. So this is like definitely one of those draft card build around cards. Probably not going to pull it off unsealed unless you're very lucky, but there is a red-blue non-creature spell, or rather a red-blue instant and sorcery theme in the format. Gimli's Axe, 3 mana, +3/+0. If it's legendary, it has Menace equipped to. That's probably a little bit too slow. Rishnak, Brash Instigator. 3 mana, 1/1 that amasses 2. Until end of turn, gain control of target non-legendary creature an opponent controls with power less than or equal to the amassed power's army. Alright, that's not bad. Coral's End is decent. Draw 2, make a 1/1 for 3. Creatures you control have haste. Legendary creatures you control get +1/+0. Generally, these type of cards are pretty bad. Erkenbrand, Lord of Westfold, 3/3 for 4. When it or another human enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. It's fine. Destroy an artifact or land. Creatures without flying can't block this turn. I doubt this is going to be a format where a card like this is good. But, I mean, only time will tell, of course, right? Like, if you remember Hazardous Blast, that was always a card you were happy to play in red decks, but I don't think this is going to be that style of deck. 4 mana, 4/3 that tempts you when you ETB. That's not bad. 5 mana, 5/4. When it or another creature you control with power 4 or greater dies, you get to amass 2. Oh, that's just a good value card. Sweet. Okay, so green is going to have a lot of the scry mechanics, like I said. I don't think that this card is very good outside of the Scry Matters deck. It is not a green ponder. Because scrying 3 without drawing a card is pretty weak. If you do get to hit a creature, okay, sure, but you're not always guaranteed to do that. I mean, how many creatures are you going to be running in limited? 15? Generally is probably on the upper end of the creatures you're going to have, so... Like, it's okay, but I don't think it's busted. Oh, yes. Look at this funny card. Long list of the Ents. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that is a pretty funny saga. I don't think it's good, but maybe one day I'll try playing it. Search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle, create a food token. Alright, that's just better lay of the land. 1 mana, 1/1 Death Touch. Whenever it attacks, target legendary creature you control gains Death Touch. That's just fine. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 gains Hexproof. The ring tempts you. That's good. Excuse me. 2 mana, 1/3. Scries when it attacks. That's okay. 2 mana, Mana Dork. That also has a late game ability. Is good. 3 mana, 3/2. Whenever you scry, you put a 1/1 counter on it, and that happens once a turn. Okay, maybe. Entish Restoration. Sack a land, search your library for up to 2 basic lands, then put them on the battlefield tapped. Okay, that's basically Harrow. I mean, Harrow is untapped, but that's basically Harrow. If you control a creature with power 4 or greater, instead search your library for up to 3 basic lands. Huh. Interesting. Here's another legendary. Peregrine Took. If one or more tokens would be created under control, those tokens plus an additional food is made. And then you can sack 3 foods to draw a card. 4 mana, 4/4, it gets +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary creatures. That's probably fine. 4 mana, Enchantment Aura Flash, scry 2, +3/+3. And here's one of the land cyclers, a very nice one, the Generous Ent. Alright, and here are a bunch of legendaries. I'm not going to go over them all. Let's see, the ring tempts you, search. Oh, that's bad. That's bad, we know. Here's the Amass Matters legend. So remember, amassing is putting 1/1 counters on if you already have an army. So this card's pretty good in the black-red deck. You also have Ugluk of the white hand. Whenever a creature you control with dies, put a 1/1 counter on Ugluk. If that creature was a goblin or an orc, put 2 counters instead. Okay. Legolas. 4 mana, 2/3 reach. Whenever you scry and it's tapped, you may untap it. And whenever a creature opponent controls dies, you put a 1/1 counter. That's not bad. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever a equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, that creature... Okay, so it's just a Leonin Scimitar with small upside. Again, I think the horn's bad, and then inherited envelope. ETB, the ring tempts you, and it adds for 1 color. That's not bad. All right, now we have to parse all of these cards and figure out what the hell we're doing. Yeah, this is where it gets brutal. I mean, what are my best cards? Probably just look for all the good rares and stuff. Treason of Isengard. Yeah, the first few seals are going to be kind of daunting, right? You're not going to know what's good, what kind of things have good synergies. What I could do here is just try to take like the red-black sealed, rather the red-black cards we have, and just do like a red-black amass deck. That's probably not a terrible plan. It does appear we have an okay amass strategy available. Because what does my green have? It doesn't look like I have any bombs in green. Do we have enough scry in green to maybe do some... No, I have a few scries in green, but maybe not enough. I do have a decent number of that effect, though. A ring tempts you effects. How's white? My white's actually really weak. Except for like these 2 cards, the Errant Riders. Yeah, I think I'm just going to try to do a nice red-black amass deck. This might be the easy way out, but kind of dig it. Sack a creature, that's probably fine. Don't need that. Whenever a creature an opponent controls is dealt excess non-combat damage. So how many ways do we have to really utilize the fall of Kaer Andros? We have 2 smites, improvised club. Is that it? It's probably not good enough. I guess we probably don't need this. Sack another creature, draw a card, then create a food. Seems maybe a little bit weak. And then it only says I have 12 creatures, but you have to remember anything that amasses can also make creatures in a sense. Okay, I'm down to try this. Let's do a little red-black amass here. Do we want the Mines of Moria? Yeah, it's a pretty low downside of entering tapped, with a decent upside of maybe making a couple treasures later on. Let's double check the red and black cards we're leaving out. Activate only if you control a legendary. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 legendary creatures, and I have a decent number of ways to sacrifice, right? I have Lash, I have Nasty End, I have Club. I could see that being okay. Red-wise, I don't think we're missing out on anything here. How many instants and sorceries do I have? 8? Is that good enough for Fiery Inscription? Might not be terrible. Although my easiest cut right now is like Shalob's Ambush. I mean, how many cards do I have that tempt? Oh, is it just these? Oh, well, in that case, we probably don't want to do that. Okay. So let's just submit this and go play some matches. My favorite way to play new formats is to do this type of thing where I don't necessarily build the best deck. I just get some reps in. Like, build a deck that looks solid enough and go play the matches. Because playing the matches is the #1 way to really experience a format and learn what the cards do. Because if your opponent blows you out with some crazy rare or whatever, you know, or rather, some crazy uncommon, I guess, would be a better example, then you know that's something that you probably should play around. Alright, we have turn 2 Mahur, Urukai Captain. They have a Baradur. Enters tapped. Let's see. Wow! Amass Orcs X. Activate if a creature died this turn. That's a nice value swamp. Very good. And they have the Golem. Nice. Okay, so when this leaves, they get to tempt, and then they can sack a creature and return Golem from their graveyard to your hand. So, I'm not blocking, so I'm going to take 3. If they try to kill this, I can sack it and draw 3 cards. They're playing 3 color. Smeagol and Golem? At the beginning of your end step, if a creature died in your control, the ring tempts you. Whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land. Put that card on the battlefield tapped in your control and the rest in their... Wow! That's awesome. That's very cool. Oh. What do we want to go with here? Guess we're gonna go with the tempting ring. And I suppose I'm gonna pass. We play defensively. Smeagol Helpful Guide. Halfling Horror, Halfling Horror. If Golem attacks, I'm not going to block. Butterbur. Man, 3 for 3 on legendaries. At the beginning of your end step, if you don't control a food, make a food. Pretty good. So, right now, I have been tempted once. So, we have... My Ring Bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by a creature with power greater. So I can currently attack in for 2 unblocked. I think what we're going to do here is... Yeah, attack. Well, does this only trigger at their end step? But I don't really want to trade our 4/3 for their 3/1s. Let's attack for 2 unblocked. Then play 1/1 Scry 1. That's great, that exiles. And 2/1 that dies and amasses 1, and then we can nasty end. If they try to do something. Actually, we can sack our Haunt of the Dead Marshes end of turn. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card. That player discards that card. Okay. And they get to amass 2. Alright, they took the card draw effect. Let's see. Maybe I should have cast the card draw effect in response. Have I not seen many of my amass cards? I mean, we have the Vanguard here. I guess we can go Erkenbrand and attack for 3 with the Vanguard. Destroy target creature, the ring tempts you, okay. Whenever the ring tempts you, target opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land, and they mill everything else. So they milled my Ugluk and my War Beast. Improvised club, that's pretty good. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. I guess I can just pass. Is this sorcery only? No, at any time. They didn't sack their food end of turn. You and opponent each create a food. Okay, that's the one that we have. And then each opponent loses 3 life, you make a treasure, sure. Let's go ahead and try to blow up Smeagol, sacking our Haunt. Target creature gains indestructible or lifelink until end of turn. Alright, that's fine. Then we can bring this back and scry 1. Get to steal something. Oh no, I would get to steal something with non-legendary power less than or equal to. I'd only be able to steal their army because these are all legendary. But I would make a 4/4, so I guess that's probably fine. Crazy game. Crazy format already, it seems like. Oh, I didn't even notice they were playing a Plains too. What is this card? Beginning of your upkeep, the ring tempts you. Whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, you may pay 2 life. If you do, draw a card. What the heck? Well, it feels like we're dead. So the next one is whenever your ring bearer attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. Okay. Oh wait, whenever you choose a creature as your ring bearer, but they can't move ring bearers, can they? Oh no, they can. Oh yikes. Oh, I should have killed the Smeagol before they could trigger that too, actually. Well, it's too late now. Now they get a bunch of flyers. Well, I feel like we're supposed to be preying on their deck because they're playing 4+ colors. Old Man Willow, 4 mana, power and toughness equal to the number of lands you control. Whenever it attacks, you may sacrifice another creature token when you do target. Jeez Louise. I have to just let them keep their Butterbur. I have to get rid of Smeagol, otherwise they get to keep tempting and then keep stealing my lands and milling me. We are very dead. It's the food. Yeah. Not sure how we can pull this one out. Remember, these creatures are gaining all of those abilities every time. And so soon, whenever their creature deals combat damage to me, I'm going to lose an extra 3 life. Alright, I think I've seen enough here. Let's go to the next game. Let's go to the next game. We got wrecked pretty good there. I think our deck's okay. I'm going to run it back. If we lose another, I'll try swapping it up, but... like... that game was a little bit awkward. They just had all 4 colors and they were able to cast their spells, and we got wrecked by all those spells, so... There's a nice looking hand. See, this is what I think our deck is supposed to be trying to do. Not curve out perfectly, because obviously you're not going to do that every time, but just like... if our opponent's trying to... rather, we're trying to be faster than our opponent, let's put it like that. Now this is literally day 1 of this format, and I've done 3 events now, so... maybe I shouldn't be trying to say what we're trying to do or not. I'm going to keep that 4th land on top. Because that gives us a guaranteed 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop, 4 drop. Oh no. Oh my gosh, I saved you from that sneeze. Muted just in time. Turn 2, Call of the Ring. That's problematic. 2/1 flyer for 3. Whenever it dies, draw a card. Or rather, when it dies, draw a card. Fine. So we want to smite this because not only do they not get to draw a card, they don't get to trigger the Call of the Ring choosing a creature. Oh, that's really good for us. That means we just get to apply some pressure this turn. Double top, that's fine. Let's just attack for 3, and then we're going to play out our 3/4 menace here. So it's unlikely they're going to be able to... well, it's less likely, I should say, that they're going to be able to double creature and block it. Gandalf! May cast sorcery spells as though they had flash. Nice. Okay, well, let's go with Relentless Rohirrim here. With that, we can make our Haunt of the Dead unblockable by anything with power 2 or greater, which conveniently they have. Okay, nice. Alright, so now Gandalf has all 4 of those abilities. Can't be blocked by creature with greater power. Whenever it attacks, draw a card, then discard. Whenever it becomes blocked by a creature, that creature's controller sacrifices it at the end of combat. And then whenever it deals combat damage to a player, each opponent loses 3 life, so... each opponent sacks a creature, create a food for each creature sacked this way. Okay. Let's Just sacrifice our ring bearer. That seems fine. Pretty aggressive for them to attack. Maybe they need to. I guess they did just get a food, so they have 3 more life in essence. But if they attack, then my menace creature guarantees it can attack. Alright, so we have a great attack with our Relentless here. Wait, what? Oh, I think they read that as the other way around, too. Oh, this is a goblin. Oh, I should have attacked with my warg as well. Whoopsies. I messed up there. I should have played the goblin and attacked with both the warg and the Rohirrim. Whoops. Right, goblin or orc, not just orcs. Okay, that's fine. Wow, they did mill 3 spells for me, though. That's kind of crazy. So they can't attack here. So they'll go back up to 12. They're going to say go. I'm going to go ahead and haunt end of turn, even though it uses both my treasures up. Because that gives us an extra 1/1 attacker plus a scry. Don't need that, obviously. Alright, let's just attack with everything. So the Warg has Menace, the Lobelia has Menace. Really, the only good blocker they have is the Voracious Fell Beast. I mean, they can put the 3/3 on like the 2/1, but for the most part, this is a really good attack. It's extremely hard for them to have a good block. Without just taking too much damage, that is to say. Oh. Or taking lethal, I guess. Wasn't even paying attention, but I guess that's the thing. I expect to make many mistakes, right? Because this format is fresh and they're like, oh, cards these days. Look at all the text. Right? Cards have infinite text, so reading is clutch, but sometimes reading doesn't equal comprehending, so I'm sure I'm going to make a ton of mistakes as well. What were the rares I opened again? They were pretty garbage, right? Yeah, in fact, this was a really bad rare open. Alright, I'm just going to stick with the red-black then. See if we can get at least a couple of wins with this. Okay, let's go on to the next game. Oh, look at their avatar! Frodo and Sam. How's our hand look? Hey, pretty good. Anytime you have a turn 2 Mordor muster, I'm guessing you can just never mulligan that type of hand, right? Basically Llanowar, what, Visionaries or whatever it's called. Draw a card, lose life, make a 1/1 token. Can't go wrong with that. Unless you're at 1 life, and then I guess you can. Okay. Yeah, we've got a pretty good draw now. And also on red-black. Let's go Quarrel's End. Probably just discarding this 2-drop now, I think. Olog High Crusher. 4 mana, 4/4, trample. Can't block unless you control a goblin or an orc. Alright, so we get to keep attacking into that. Do I want to pressure here? I think we want to go for the 3/1/1 flyers as quickly as possible. Because the later I play this, the worse it's going to get. It also does a little bit of ramping next turn, so I can cast one of my 4 drops and hold up Nasty End. Grond the Gatebreaker. 4 mana, 5/5 trample. As long as it's your turn and you control an army, it's an artifact creature with... Wow, and it has crew 3. That's kind of gross. I might be taking a lot of damage next turn. In fact, I wonder if just making a huge army and attacking is the best play I have. Like, we can go Crabane here, pump our army. Book of Mazarbul, pump our army. They both have trample too, so it's not even worth leaving back a 1/1 blocker. So next turn I'm going to get 3 tapped 1/1 flyers in addition to amassing another 2. Okay, that's fine. If they're not playing a creature this turn, then they can't attack with both, which is great. Alright, they are going to hit me for 5, though, it looks like. That's fine. Make a bunch of those. Make 2 orcs. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on. Oh, that's pretty good here, too. So I have 3 life available right now. I also have a instant speed draw 2 and put a 1/1 counter on the Ugluk. Actually, I could put 2 counters on, right? Sack a goblin or an orc. So if I sack my army, I can make this a 5/5. And then next turn we have the Book of Mazarbul, giving my creatures +1/+0 and menace until end of turn, so... they're going to need a board wipe type effect here if they want to kill me, or if they want to live, rather. Another Crusher, and that's just GG's, right? They take, like, infinite damage next turn with the book trigger. Yeah. Nice. Alright, I mean, we had that initial loss, but now our deck is doing stuff. Okay, okay. I'm digging it. Two and one. Okay, we're on the draw. We have Smite the Deathless. This hand's pretty weak, but... I guess you're probably not supposed to mulligan it on the draw. Wizard's Rockets. 1 mana, ETB tapped. Pay X, tap it, sack it, add X mana in any combination of colors, and then draw a card when it goes to the graveyard from the battlefield. That's pretty good. That's a nice fixer. That's the type of card I love in limited formats. Entering tapped is a little bit unfortunate, because that makes it like a terrible card to draw if you need to find something, right? A lot of those like Chromatic Star type things, you can use them immediately, but oh, it's really cool. So we have 2 removal spells in our hand. We would love to find something to do next turn. Whenever you scry, choose one, and Glorfindel gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Must be blocked this turn if able. Can't be blocked by more than 1 creature. it's one of those green-blue Scry Matters cards. Pretty happy just to exile it here. Smite the Deathless. Just a good card. Anytime you have 3 damage at instant speed for 2 mana in a limited format, it's going to be a good card. Priority unfortunately being held because of the opponent's artifact. Hey, we drew a great card to draw on turn 3 there. I don't think our Erkenbrand is very good, so I'm just going to ditch it. Could have gotten a little bit greedy and pitched a land too, I guess, but if I don't draw a land, it's just so bad. And even if I draw a runner land, it's not like the end of the world. But it ain't good. I would love to have my 4-drop back and put this mountain in my graveyard instead. It would be nice. Wow, brutal. Oh my gosh. That artifact holding priority is so gross. No, wait, what is going on? All right. I don't mind that, though. I would rather just play more games and get more reps in. Our deck is not good, I think, but it's cool to see other opponents doing things as well and seeing what kind of neat cards are in the format. Let's go on to the next game. On the play. This hand is real bad. This hand is much better. Okay. Again, we'll pitch the Erkenbrand. We got a Smite for early game into turn 2, turn 3. Ooh, we drew our best card on turn 2. Mortar Muster. Mordor Muster. Actually, that's going to allow us to attack for 3 next turn. Because the Dunland here is going to amass 2, but since we already have the token, just pumps our other one up by 2 instead. Nice, we drew our land. I'm just going to attack. Alright, let's keep curving out. 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop. I give them a food token, but we get to deny them that life immediately afterwards. Gimli! Counter of kills. Trample for 4/3. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, deals 1 damage to that creature's controller. Let's start off by Quarrel's End. Discarding Mountain. I guess we'll just smite Gimli. Attack for 4. If there's a Wrath in the format, that's what we have to be worried about. Because I'm going to have a bunch of creatures next turn. Fog on the Dune Barrow. So enchanted creature is a spirit and can't attack or block. Well, that's pretty convenient. Because I can sack it for 2 cards. Yeah, no, let's go for pressure, I guess. Again, if there's a Wrath in the format, so be it. I'm not playing around it. I guess we'll just go all the way. Yeah, that seems fine. That is not a Wrath. Okay. Until I play against a Wrath, I am in the full mode of just dump, 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 dump. Like I said earlier, the best way to learn about cards and to play around cards is to first learn what the cards do and what cards are in the format. Well, that is a creepy looking orc. Okay, on the play again, and another pretty weak hand. And that's good. 2-drop, 4-drop, and a removal spell will pitch the Relentless. The Warg likes the Goblin, and the Goblin triggers the Warg. Not triggers, but turns it on. You got some art that's kind of derpy, like this Goblin here. That would have been a good turn to draw something. Tap, draw a card. Oh, no! I did mean to attack there. Now that's -2 damage. Lothlorian Lookout. Okay. Scry 1. Sure. I'm not going to kill that. Let's correctly attack this time. Opponent should be at 16. Oh. What do they have? Target creature gets -3/-0 until end of turn. Amass 1. Oh, they should have... Oh, no, that makes sense. I see. Sure. Because this is for any creature that blocks it. So they have the blue-green scry deck, or at least what's attempting to be the blue-green scry deck. I'm gonna go to combat here. Soothing of Smeagol. Return target non-token creature to its owner's hand. The ring tempts you. Alright, you got me. I think I like getting the book online here first. Now I'm actually going to smite off their lookout, because they made it the ring bearer, plus it has the scry. Saruman the White, 4/4 for 5, ward 2. Whenever you cast your second spell each turn, amass orcs 2. Okay. Well, 2 cards left in their hand. Let's see if they can cast them both and get a trigger. So amassing is going to simply make their army a 3/3. Ents Fury. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It's if it's power 4 or greater. Then that creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It fights target creature you don't control. Wow, and they did get to do the double spell this turn. Okay. Yeah, I guess we do this and attack with both. They can trade their 3/3 for my goblin if they want to. They take it all? Oh, that's terrifying. That can't be a good sign. Remember, they should be at 2 less life. I just simply misclicked an attack. Whenever you scry, put a 1/1 counter on a creature, and then you can pay 6 to scry. Arwin Undomil. Another Ents Fury. Okay, and then there goes another Amass. Mushroom Watchdog. Sack of food, put a 1/1 counter on it. It gains vigilance until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh my gosh, we're so close to lethal. Remember that time I missed 2 damage? I do. Not that that would have killed them, but they'd be at 1 right now. It'd be a lot scarier for them. Okay, that's fine. I want to do that because... Oh, wait. Do I have a way to bring back a creature? For some reason, I thought I did. It might have been actually better to not block there. Oh, that's pretty good, actually. So now they have to block that with their 2/2. They're dead on board here if they don't have a creature that can block the goblin now. I think I just chump and take 5. 2 lethal threats. Well, that's not good enough. Most likely. They need to draw into a creature that does something. Yeah, the ring tempting me there was really, really freaking good. Oh, that's not good enough. Alright, GG's. Phew! Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Did not expect to win that one, but there we are. That was a close one. 5-1 now. Well, doing a lot better with this deck than I expected, but this is a new format, so everybody doesn't know what they're doing. Like, our deck might be terrible, but if other people's decks also don't, like, maybe not that their decks are bad, I should say, just that combat tricks and, or not combat tricks, combat math and strategic plays are much more important, you know? You can't just make willy-nilly plays when everybody's on even footing of not knowing what anything does. Oh no, we got the same matchup again. Not enough people playing. Alright. Versus the same person, huh? Ugh, that hand does not look good enough. That hand is also pretty weak, but it's okay. We have 2 different combos here, actually. In fact, I'm going to get extremely greedy here and throw away a land. Because this hand is really good if we just can rattle off a few lands. Perfect. Because Grish Knock can steal something if I wait long enough, and then I can nasty end. But if my opponent doesn't do much, we might just wait on it anyways. I guess it's probably too greedy to not do this right now. Oh, right, it doesn't even steal legendaries. Duh. So I like my play then. Ass. That was a good draw as well. I'm gonna attack first before playing the Ugluk out to see what they're doing here. Okay. Let's sack it in response so they don't get to amass. Sucks that we wanted to sack our Grishnok with that. So that we would have drawn an extra card, but... I'm gonna take 2. See what they do, wait before I cast Smite. 3 mana, 2/3, they can draw a card and discard a card. Alright, I think getting rid of the looter makes sense since they're missing land drops. I will play him out now. Ugluk of the White Hand. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on it. If it was a goblin or orc, put 2 1/1 counters instead. So now if I sack my Grishnach, Ugluk's going to be pumped up by 2. So land here would be pretty good, because that means we get to go like this. Attack for 3. Shoot that Arwen, sack the Grishnach, hit them for 5. Kill the Arwen, and then play out a 4/4 Menace. Ah, another Arwen. I think we want to play the book out pre-combat. Just so that we have a second orc on the battlefield for the warg. Sure. Chumping 2 instead of 4. Oh, Menace. Right. I was like, what are they doing? But the warg has Menace. There's Saruman again. Okay. Oof, and that's GG's. Oh, wait, he has Ward 2. Wait, no, this works, right? Sack this, that turns Ugluk into a 7/7. And then easy baby GG. Well, I feel bad because I just beat that opponent twice in a row, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Maybe we'll wait a little bit before queuing up, but now we are 6-1. Let's play for that trophy, baby. Alright, on to the next game we go. 6-1. Let's see if we can get a trophy. Hand looks pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, hand looks pretty darn good. Mahur Urkai Captain. Nasty End again. It's a good draw. Nasty End with the Vanguard and the Mahur is really nice. A Shire Scarecrow. Okay. Let's play out our Menace creatures. This is a 2 mana 0/3 Defender, and they can pay 1 to filter 1 mana once a turn. We know that one. Go ahead and just discard another mountain here. The Dunland Crabane. Mirkwood Bat. Ah, that's a really nice one. 4 mana, 2/3 flyer. Whenever you create or sacrifice a token, each opponent loses 1 life. They didn't attack with their flyer, though, which is kind of weird. Ugh, we really need to find some more black sources. This is just too much red. Golem, the Patient Plotter. We played against that earlier. Well, I guess my 3/3 will block their 2/2. Maybe they didn't realize that my token was a 3/3 because of Mahur. I think that's what they forgot. I have a lot of good plays this turn. Which one do I want to do? I see no problem with just running out the 5/4. Saying go. So I can make 2 treasures by exiling 3 cards. That's pretty good too. Press the enemy. Return target spell or non-land permanent opponent controls of its own design. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with lesser or equal mana value. So only instants and sorceries. I mean, they're poking me down, but I don't feel like we're at all behind. And if I really need to, I can Lash of the Balrog. What is this? Meneldor, Swift Savior. Deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 1 target creature you own, then return to the battlefield. Oh, that's pretty good with Golem. Whenever it leaves the battlefield, they get to tempt. It's not bad. Let's see here. Equip here. Smack. Probably just gonna Lash their Meneldor, I would guess. Oh, okay, they're just gonna chump with the Golem. Sure, so they get to tempt. That doesn't seem relevant. Okay. Uruk-hai Berserker. ETB, the ring tempts you. Alright, so now they can, when this attacks, they draw a card, discard a card, but they don't have any cards in their hand, so the looting is irrelevant there. There's a second black source. Let's play out the Vanguard. Attack with both of these. And then I can sack the Vanguard to pump my army up by 2 because this says amass 1, but then with the Mahur, it'll put an additional counter and we'll get to draw 2 cards. Oh, or if they're just chumping, that's fine as well. I think I'm gonna make treasures with the Mines of Moria this turn instead of playing out our Goblin. Witch King of Angmar. Whenever one or more creatures deal combat damage to you, each opponent sacrifice a creature that dealt combat damage to you this turn. The ring tempts you. What was that top deck? Oh, I forgot. Oh, they passed priority so quickly I forgot to attack. We equip here. I only have to sacrifice 1 creature. Whenever 1 or more creatures deal combat damage to you, each opponent sacrifices a creature that dealt combat damage to you. Yeah. So this is still fine. Witch King of Angmar, damn. Okay, so if I sack this, 5, 10, 13. Oh, am I actually dead? No. They go to 3, but it doesn't kill me, right? Wow, bad. I think we have to sack the army now. Sheesh. If they find a card that tempts, I die. I might have messed up there. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card. That player discards that card. Amass 2. Okay, that doesn't matter. Oh, they can put me to 1. They can sack their token, which triggers the bats, brings back Golem. I go to 8, and they have 7 damage on the battlefield. Oh! Oh, wait, why didn't that trigger? Oh, yeah, no, it did trigger. Wow, sick. That's crazy. They were so close to killing me. Damn, this card is nuts. Witch King of Angmar. Alright, well. Get to steal their bat. It doesn't really matter. We have the win. I can kill them with the bat trigger, actually. Right? Oh, it's only 2 treasures, never mind. Jeez, crazy, crazy. Alright, well that was a fun one. I mean, as with any new format, it's always excellent the first week or 2 at the very least, and then we'll see as we get our reps in. But hey, that was a nice little 7 winner. Was that a first round loss into winning out from there? I think that was. We lost round 1, and then we won every round afterwards, so... Nice little Amass synergy deck, even though we didn't have that much Amass, but good stuff, good plays. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back for some more. Bye-bye.